Good Monday morning, everybody. At least that's when I am recording this. I don't know when you're watching it, but good morning. Welcome to unit number 2. We're going to quickly do our sort of weekly walkthrough, and I'm also going to try to address any questions that have kind of come up more than once during week 1. So let me share my screen and the course. All right, so remember when you first log into your courses, you're going to be on the announcements page. So this is where you can always go back and look at previous walkthrough videos. If you get started late on a particular unit, excuse me, you'll be able to go back and see all the previous videos. None of them will go away. So this one, of course, that I'm making right now will be posted here as well. But this is where you land when you first sign in. So you always have access to this. A couple of folks had forgotten how to get in touch with me over the first week, and we're struggling a bit with that. Remember, you've got 2 links over here. One, excuse me, it's called Meet Your Instructor. That is where my office hours and my phone number that you should use and all of that good stuff is listed. So let me click on that. And of course, the most official way to reach me is just to send me an email from your post student email account to this particular email. That's my professional email, and I check it multiple times a day. I get updates on my phone. Like I'm never out of touch from the email. So feel free to use that. My work phone for post is listed here, 203-828-3783. Somebody asked me for that number the other day, and I do not have it memorized, so I apologize. But I just had to point you back to this page. But you are welcome to use that to text me anytime. But what it is really designed for is to facilitate office hours. So during my scheduled times, I will for sure be available immediately on that text. And of course, we can always set up an appointment. You can text me there and work out a time, or email me and we'll work out a time. You also always have the Ask the Instructor discussion board. Nobody has posted anything yet, which is not totally surprising. People forget about this feature, but it is in all of your classes, and it is a good feature. Especially because, excuse me, chances are if you have a question, somebody else probably has the same question about an assignment. So this is a good place to ask public questions and get the responses both from me and from classmates. You are also welcome to answer your fellow students' questions on this discussion. And you post to it just like you do any other discussion board. You would create the thread, type in the subject, type in the message, and hit submit. And it's going to post. And then if you wanted to reply to someone else, there's going to be the little reply button underneath. That's the only difference. Once a thread has been created, you can reply directly to that thread. So it works just like a regular discussion board. Let's go to unit 2 because that's where we are. We are starting the process now of researching and including that research in your writing. So in unit 1, you wrote a paragraph that was based on your own knowledge about a person that you know. And in the discussion, you described a place that you are familiar with. So you didn't have to do any other research other than, what do I know about the subject? In unit 2, we're going to start moving towards what is more common in academic writing, and that is research writing. So what are our objectives this week? Examine how to use the library and find sources. This is the number one thing that people just really don't want to do. And I don't know, I do know why. We're comfortable Googling things. We're comfortable asking Alexa. We're comfortable asking Siri. But in reality, when you are writing papers for academic purposes and professional purposes, you need to be using sources that are published in a traditional way, and those are accessed using the library. Now, the good news is you can access that information directly in your computer, just like you do Google, but you're going to be signing in to the post library and using resources to support your writing in an academic environment. What is the difference then between a reliable and an unreliable source? We hear those terms thrown around a lot, fake news and things like that, but how do we distinguish between what is reliable and unreliable? You're going to be using a quotation, direct quote, and using the in-text citation to show what source you used. You will also have a references list this time, which we did not have to have last time. So what are our activities? Of course, before you do the assessments, you want to do the learning on how to do the assessments. So you're going to read, view, and engage with the readings and resources. By Wednesday, you want to have your readings done because you will post your unit discussion. And then you have until the rest of the week, until Sunday night, to complete and submit both the responses to others on the discussion board and your Unit 2 assignment. Let's take a look at the readings and resources. You have, again, assignments from your textbooks on building an essay and finding reliable sources. The tutorial on how to find reliable sources through Academic Writer is something new. I would definitely check it out. I have not used Academic Writer a lot, but it is something that is provided to post students, and I think it is a great extra resource. The next section talks about how to directly quote things and cite the evidence. So obviously with quotations, we use quotation marks. We will specify typically who the author is. One of the things that I really encourage people to do is never have a quotation just kind of sitting there by itself. You always want to introduce that quote or tie it to a phrase or a sentence of your own so that it becomes really part of the paper. So there's some good activity there on citing evidence. And then finally, how do we access post-library resources? You are going to use an article that is provided for you this week, but you will be also then learning how to use the post-library sources. And then when the time comes, you'll be doing your own research as well. All right, so let's go back to the unit and talk about the discussion board. So the Unit 2 discussion board is about reliable sources. We will consider what makes a source reliable and what makes a source unreliable. So you should answer the questions. What do you think the biggest difference is between an unreliable source and a reliable source? And why do you think a reliable scholarly source is always stressed in academic writing? So another way to look at that question is, why do teachers encourage you to use the library and not to just Google things and find things on the open internet? I will tell you, I use Google every day, absolutely every day. I use the internet every day for quick information, but when I have an official research thing to write, I'm going to be using library sources. So you may even want to look at it that way. Why is writing for school different from just gathering information for quick info? So that's where you're going to go with your discussion board this week. And then of course you'll respond to 2 others. With the others, and I find this really interesting, in your 2 peer responses, find an unreliable source, find a website or something that is not really up to speed, and share that with your classmates. And of course it still should be proper for discussion in the classroom. But let's see, who can find the most interesting unreliable source. So your post is due by Wednesday, and then you have the rest of the week. As usual, the discussion board rubric is right here. So if you want to recall how your grades are submitted for this. Now remember, this is the first week that we do have timing in the rubric. So if you do not post your response by Wednesday, you will lose points over the week. It's not a lot. The whole thing is only worth 5 points. But if you post by Friday, you only lose 1 point. If you post by Sunday night, you only lose 2 points. It's not the end of the world, but it does count. Okay. So keep in mind that these are your rubrics. And that's going to help you decide, how to check what you've done to make sure you're going to maximize your points. All right, then we have the second formal writing assignment. So this one's going to be still a single paragraph, but it's going to be more intense than the paragraph that was just about your own life and experience. You're going to set it up the exact same way. You're going to have a Word document or a PDF document in which you have a cover page. The paragraph will start on page 2. And in this one, you will also have a final page, which is the references page. Now, the good news is the reference in this case is provided for you, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So this is just a matter of practicing how to format everything. The information is in the assignment, but you will still have to set it up as an APA paper. So let's click on the assignment link, and everything you need to know is right here in this assignment. So the article that you're going to use is called Vote by Mail Overview. It's from the Points of View database, and it is written by Delascio Martinuk, first initial T. So you're going to create one paragraph that answers the following question: why or why not should American citizens be allowed to vote by mail? Now, you may have your own opinion already. You may have seen other writers talking about this or other websites that have talked about this, but for the purposes of this assignment, you are only using this article. That's it. Do not go Google it. Do not go find a bunch of other information. You want to use this article, and you can use it no matter which direction you go, whether you say they should or they shouldn't. You can use the same article to do that. So no need to do any additional research. The article above provides an overview of the issue of Americans voting by mail. After reading the above article, you will write one paragraph that asserts your objective and clear position answering the above question. Your writing should be done in third person. So in the first unit, you did write about your own life, so you were able to say I. You want to get rid of that for the rest of the term. And the biggest place that we do it, I will tell you, the biggest mistake that we make when it comes to first person, third person is always saying, I think this, or I feel that, or I believe that, or I read this article. We know it's you thinking it, feeling it, seeing it, reading it, whatever the case may be, because it's your paper or your paragraph in this case. So no first person, all objective third person. Make your point and then prove it. The key to this assignment is to make sure that the 7 to 9 sentence paragraph you write only has one topic and includes evidence to support that topic. In other words, you need one main reason to explain why you think Americans should or should not be able to vote by mail. If you were writing an essay about this, you would have 5 or 6 reasons probably. But in this particular case, you only want one reason, and then you're going to support that. Your answer to the above question should explain that reason in your paragraph with one direct quote from the article. You can do more than one, but you have to do at least one. Review the citing evidence interactive in this unit for information on how to include a direct quote in your work. Your evidence should go in the middle of the paragraph so that you can completely introduce it and explain how it supports your topic. And so there is a step-by-step instruction here about creating a paragraph with evidence. I am not going to read that to you. I want you to read that for yourself. The requirements as well. I've already mentioned most of these, but remember, it's going to be an APA citation. Oh, they've got the wrong reference. All right. Note on this page where it says mandatory, this is a different article, but this is the citation. So you can simply copy that and paste it into your Word document. But this is also how you will locate the article by clicking on the link. Now you will have to sign in to the library if you have not done so recently. And then it will take you directly to the link. I will show you another fun place where you can get the citation. Once you have this article open, and here's where you will read it. Okay, you'll click the PDF full text. This is where you will read it. Gives you a nice overview, not too terribly long. That's how you will read it. But let me go back and show you on the actual, when we're in here, over on the right-hand column, notice there's a cite button, and we are using APA. So you'll notice this looks exactly like the one in the thing, except for the fact that there's no underline on the vote by mail because it's not a link. But so we highlight this, Control C to copy it, and then you would Control V to paste it into your Word document. So do your best with that. If you have problems with the technical side of it, let me know. I am perfectly happy to help you with Word and how to set those things up. I may even post a little thing in the middle of the week that kind of helps with that. But for now, that's your weekly walkthrough. Those are your marching orders. You have, again, 2 assignments, 1 discussion board and 1 written paragraph. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I am here to help. And I hope everyone has a great week 2 of the term.